Hello and welcome to the JW Thoughts channel. We're getting back to another classic, and that is the Gilead Graduation. I'm going to try, I know I said this last time and each video was nearly an hour, but I'm going to try and actually do these in shorter segments.
It's encouraging, very encouraging.
And then release them every day or every other day or something like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy that concept. But with that being said, let's get right into it.
Well, Class 151, you seem excited, and you should be. This is a very special day for you, one you'll never forget, just as the entire course of Gilead you'll never forget. And we're happy to be with you today, and we will all benefit from the things that are said today at this spiritual program.
This is the JW Thoughts channel. You will benefit from watching this. You will be encouraged by this. You no doubt have been encouraged by my videos previously, and you no doubt will be encouraged by this one. So you should think wholeheartedly about how you will be affected by it. I am sensing a theme right off the rip here that he is going to be doing a lot of, this is what you think. This is what you, like, just telling people exactly how they are to think and feel about this Gilead graduation.
That's shocking.
Just an observation. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Let's let it ride.
But even so, we know that although this will benefit everyone involved, the program has been designed with you in mind. So every talk given, the brothers have prayerfully considered what can be said to encourage, and as you listen, just be certain that the brothers have had that in mind. But all of us listening today will benefit from the good things that will come out in this program.
Might that have been the worst edit we've ever seen?
To encourage, and as you listen.
If anyone out there in YouTube land knows what was edited out and why, I would be immensely curious as to finding that out. But anyway, I guess we will proceed headlong into the crucible that is the Gilead graduation.
When the day is over, you'll look back and recall a program that honored Jehovah and confirmed his love for you. And again, you're never going to forget it. During the past 5 months of your schooling, you were asked to draw out principles from many different Bible accounts, and you worked hard to do that, didn't you? And you learn new ways to do that, to see the scriptures as something that Jehovah wants us to listen to very carefully and then apply its fine points in our lives.
So I thought it might be funny to do a silly little exercise, and you will see why I decided to do this coming up, because there will be a demonstrable example. But we are going to take the words God and Jehovah, and we're going to replace that with the governing body. And if you want to know why we're going to replace that with the governing body, hang tight. I promise the answer will be coming shortly.
With that in mind, I have a theme for these brief introductory comments. I thought it would keep me focused, so here's my theme.
Maybe it's just me, and this could entirely be just me. But isn't it hilarious that he's making this weird little joke as someone that is the most boring vanilla oatmeal version of a governing body member that I think we have? I don't know if there's anyone that's more just a wet fart, I guess, as far as a speaker goes. He never is involved in any big, wild statements, no new light, and, you know, any crazy stuff like that. He's usually just kind of there like, hey, good job, resist Satan, and stuff like that. It's so funny because he's like, I thought it's a theme would keep me focused. I don't know if we've ever heard you be unhinged. Like, it would make a lot of sense if Tony Morris, who oftentimes you can clearly see he just goes off script and starts telling stories and is a fully unhinged man. So that would make sense that he would make this joke. But for Mr. Oatmeal himself, I don't know. It's just kind of like, ha ha, he, not funny at all, bucko.
You are ready to face the things ahead. Now, notice it's not a question, are you ready? It's a statement. You are ready to face the things ahead. Now, why can we say this with such confidence? Because we see your faith. We see your deep love for our Heavenly Father, Jehovah, and his Son. You've trusted in Jehovah, you have done well, and you made it to graduation day. I know some of you wondered if you would make it, but you did. Here you are. You're graduating with the 151st class of Gilead. What a delight.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Elliot Page would be very proud of this moment here. We have full-on Inception, as predicted at the beginning. It seems as if he's just going to be spending all of his time telling people how they think and how they feel, and it is already annoying, and we're only a few minutes into this Gilead graduation, so I guess it's going to continue to get worse. Also, how many people have flunked Gilead? I want to know, because when he makes this joke, like, it's only funny if, I suppose it's only funny, at least in my mind, if people have flunked out of it or haven't completed the course. But I would like to know, like, an actual number of how many people that are accepted into this school program and are not given their certification. They don't actually make it to the end. I'm very curious, because if it is true that everyone that does, get accepted into the school does eventually graduate, then no one would ever be wondering, oh, I was worried, because I can't imagine it's a very large number. I imagine that it's like, if there's even one, I doubt there's like even one per class. And if there's not even one per class, then no one was actually wondering whether or not they would complete the course. It's a very silly, stupid thing.
You undoubtedly agree more than ever before with what the Apostle Paul wrote at Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13, where he said, "For all things I have the strength through" who? The one who gives me power. And we know who that is. And Jehovah has surely helped you during these months to make a success of Gilead School. And we're very proud of you for that. And you can be certain that Jehovah is just delighted to see that because you love him. And you went through this course, you've gone through it with that in mind. True?
This is going to be a really long Gilead graduation. I can feel it in my bones. If this guy tells them what they're thinking or feeling one more time, I might have to get the candle out and go on a rant. We'll see. But maybe he'll surprise me. Sometimes I am surprised. Yeah, sometimes.
Here's an example of things you must be ready to handle or you may face. Soon after your graduation, you will be off to your assignments, and as you go, have in mind Jesus' words where he taught his disciples to pray, "Do not bring us into temptation, but deliver us from the wicked one." Now, focus on the words temptation and wicked one. They go together, don't they? Temptation and wicked one. Satan, the wicked one, doesn't like your success here at Gilead. You can be certain that he hates this school and all the good that it has accomplished through the years in honoring Jehovah, benefiting his people and those in the field.
I can't help but get a bit of a giggle anytime one of these elite eight that sits in New York in their giant facility, controlling millions of people across the world, actually tells us about how arrogant they are. So what he's just done here is saying, you can be certain that Satan doesn't like this thing you're doing. You can be absolutely certain that he is angry about the good that you're going to do from what you've learned at this school. So what he's done is brought certainty into the supernatural. My challenge to you, Mr. Cook, can you prove that the supernatural exists or manifests itself in our reality in any way? Is there any proof, evidence that you can demonstrate that will make me say, oh, okay, the supernatural is real? Instead, this goofy goober has just opened his pretend third eye and is saying, I can see into the supernatural world, and I know that Satan must be very unhappy about this school that I control. It is so fundamentally stupid what he is saying here, and the fact that he can be so serious about it. He's so serious about these claims of Narnia and Endor. Like, he's living in a fantasy universe, which is cool, by the way. Like, I like fiction. I like sci-fi. That's something that appeals to me. The idea of the supernatural is very cool to me. But I draw a line in my mind of, okay, well, that's just exactly what I called it. It's fiction. It's science fiction. It's not real. It's cool, but it's not real. But this man has clearly tapped in to another dimension that us mere mortals have no access to. And he can say with absolute certainty that Satan is very unhappy that you are going to Gilead. Right.
So then, what temptations or stumbling blocks might Satan try to place before you now that you've graduated from this school? Well, here are a few things, and they are things that all of us must face. For example, if you're not careful, you might be tempted to become self-satisfied with what you have accomplished. Don't ever let that happen to you. Never be self-satisfied. Keep setting goals for yourself. Strive to please Jehovah more and more each day in all that you do.
This is one of the worst aspects of being a Jehovah's Witness. When he's saying don't become self-satisfied, keep striving more and more to do things for Jehovah. Again, we're doing the funny exercise of swapping Jehovah for the governing body. So keep doing more and more for the governing body. Maybe I should get the candle out already, but I'm gonna resist the temptation. Haha, temptation, jokes. I think that when you leave the organization, when you stop being subjugated to the governing body and your watchtower indoctrination, I think one of the most difficult things is learning how to be satisfied with accomplishing something. So as a Jehovah's Witness, you are taught that, don't get too high on your britches there, buddy. We need to make sure that we're reaching out even further and doing more. And it's never enough. You can never just sit back and say, wow, I did that shit. Hell yeah. You know what? I'm going to take a weekend off because I accomplished something really, really great. Even if you're a Jehovah's Witness, and let's say someone contacted me the other day and told me a wacky, wild story about how her husband had gone to Bethel, left his job for weeks, and I think the sum total of the cost, because they actually did like a cost analysis of how much, it was like $35,000. And yet it's not enough. And he couldn't just be like, wow, I sacrificed $35,000. I helped on this construction project for this new facility, for the watchtower headquarters. I did a really good thing. No, it's, well, when are you going to come back? Do you want to make plans right now to come back and help us for free? And it cost them $35,000 as a family. And I was blown away by this. But when he's saying this, it makes perfect sense. And her husband is still a witness. But you automatically think to yourself, like, you've done enough. You helped with their construction project at the detriment to your family and your financial security. And you've done all of this sacrificing. And yet Watchtower will not just say, hey, good job, thank you so much. We really appreciate what you've done. They might say those words, but there's a gigantic conjunction, a big old but right there in your face. But when are you going to help out a little bit more? It's so disgusting that they have this mentality where no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, unless you become a member of the governing body, there's always more. You can never volunteer enough. You can never donate enough. You can never give more of yourself. You have to keep doing more, and it's stupid. Like, if someone does something reasonably charitable within their means for someone, would that charity in any other circumstance be like, okay, thank you so much for the donation, but what else can you give? Can you give more? When are you going to be able to donate again? It's like, bruh, relax. I've done what I can. I've done what's reasonably expected of someone in my circumstances, in my situation. Why are you pressuring me to do more? Okay, sorry. End of Wally rant. That was probably like 5 minutes long. Good golly, how is this ever going to work when I'm trying to keep these videos short? I'm sure in post I'll figure something out other than just adding a big old but to the screen when I say conjunction, because that would be dumb.
What is your name, sir? I am Bill Buttlicker. Really, that's your real name? How dare you? My family built this country.
But you already know that's definitely going to happen. All right, thank you so much for joining me for part 1 of the Gilead graduation. And like I said at the beginning, I will see you not tomorrow, but the day next, and we will continue our journey of looking at the Gilead graduation.